Hey everybody, Krystal Gamer here, and welcome to another challenge results video. For those of you new to the program, I run a Make Me Wanna Buy challenge series every few weeks where participants submit 4 images via Twitter of any build or design they choose, interior or exterior, using only the items from the challenge pack and the base game. Obviously with as much focus as possible on the challenge pack, since the objective is to make me want to buy that pack. So it's kind of a sales and marketing pitch, really, coupled with a build and design challenge. And I'm a photographer, which means that the photographs are most definitely just as important as the design. And that said, y'all have me in a mood or something today. I took a preliminary look at the images, and I feel like I'm going to have a lot to say from a photographic perspective this time. And so there are a few things that I'm hoping to teach you guys. And so yeah, I'm hoping you guys get something out of it from that angle. But back to the challenge. So at the end of the review, I give out a few fake awards to my personal favorites. And they're fake because there's really no prize other than bragging rights. And of course, it's all subjective to my taste, but we must not discount bragging rights. No, seriously though, it's all just in good fun. And as for myself, I usually do a build in line with the challenge, but this time I did one inspired by the challenge instead and in line with the holiday season. If you haven't seen it yet, it's a mountain chalet build that I did for the huge Winterfest collab that is all over Twitter and probably will be till the end of the month, till it's done. And so the link to that video will be at the end of this one. It's a tour of the build plus a description of the family that lives or that visits there, and that part was made by Mena Buchner, so she and I collabed on that part together. And so now on to the entries. I review them in an order determined by a random number generator, and first up today we have Tony W. Gus. And so Tony is back with us. I'm so happy about this because Twitter, I don't know, decided to be a butthead to Tony or something and jack up his account for a while and everything. So he missed the last challenge. He had perfect attendance to that point. And he missed the last perfect attendance. I sound like a teacher. Mena has perfect attendance, I think. I'm trying to remember if anyone else does. I think Tony and Mena were in line for perfect attendance. But anyway, yeah, I sound like some kind of teacher or something. But nonetheless, I'm happy Tony is back with us, that Twitter fixed his account and he's back here with us. And so he's joining us for this. And what a way to go with Outdoor Retreat. Look at this first image. This is so like Bass Pro Shops. Oh, and speaking of, I have to go to the tweets. So Tony's tweet says, a mega camping and outdoor supplies store is my latest entry to Krystal Gamer's Make Me Wanna Buy series. Absolutely everything needed for an outdoor retreat will be found here and then some. And I thought he said somewhere in his tweet, but it must be in the conversation below. I saw something about Bass Pro Shops, and I think he said Bass Pro Shops. That's what I'm seeing when I look at it. When I look at this, it looks very Bass Pro Shops to me. And I think that he said he was inspired by that. And just how cool is that? It's great. And I think that siding is part of Outdoor Retreat too. So he's using several elements with the little whatever kind of animal that is. I'm not really sure if that's a squirrel. Is that a squirrel? I don't know. Anyway, I love it. It's cute. But yeah, him, the sign, all of that stuff. So that's very cool. And when we go inside, it is an outdoor supply shop. This reminds me a lot of Tony's, I think it was his very first entry, first or second. It was way back when I started these challenges. He did a thrift store, I think it was. And this reminds me a little bit of that. It's very well laid out. It's a smart way of showing like everything in the pack. It's really kind of rather brilliant. The next image, this has me slightly confused. I'm trying to figure out if this is an indoor or an outdoor thing happening here. He's got massive ceiling lights coming from somewhere, but yet we have trees. And then there's the section that's up at the right-hand side at the top. And I see water. It's like a pool in there, but then there's also land. I don't know. I'm like thinking putting green. I'm not quite sure what he's got going there, but the whole thing is just kind of cool, but I'm not sure exactly, like, I'd love to almost see like what he has in mind there, but to me, it's making me think like a golfing putting green or something. And I'm not sure if it's just a leisure area or what with that, but I'm sort of fascinated with it. But nonetheless, he's showing everything in the pack. And so that is a beautiful thing. And it's a very homey feeling place. So that is Tony W. Gus, and thanks so much for coming back with us. Next up, we have GVDN12, who says, if you go down to the woods today, you're sure to find a big surprise. You're sure of a big surprise. Here's my entry to Krystal Gamer's Outdoor Retreat Challenge, again with a little story going on. Can you spot him? Don't worry, he just wants some s'mores, I think. So this is so interesting. GVDN12 did some interesting stuff with this. So this first image, this is kind of cool, right? I don't know if you can see anything that you're supposed to spot. It took me a second. I got it, but I'll leave you guys to it if you want to pause to spot something. But the house design is kind of interesting to me. It's like an extended gambrel, right? Like, so the roof's a gambrel, but extending all the way down. So it's kind of fascinating to me. And of course, the outdoor retreat elements in the front. And there's a few others sprinkled about here. And one thing that we have to note is outdoor retreat comes with several, like, I think it's 4 or 5 different trees, a couple of different ferns, some flowers. So a lot of the outdoor elements that are just kind of blending into the scenery are part of outdoor retreat elements. So I'm pretty sure the ferns in the front and things are outdoor retreat. Maybe. I'm not 100%. Can't remember exactly what the ferns look like and stuff, but I know that there are several pieces of flora and fauna that came with outdoor retreat. And so we go inside. This looks like a very nice, homey little place. I like it a lot. I think that I'm not sure if we're supposed to spot the thing here or not. I have not spotted the thing here. And you'll see in the next image. No, not in the next image. 2 images. I think it's the last image. But in any case, so the overall design is very nice. It's homey here. She's using a lot of elements from the pack, which is very cool. Next image, I love this loft area. I love loft areas in general. Now, this is totally not practical in real life, because if you actually have this in real life, the person upstairs either can't sleep while the person downstairs has to be doing stuff, or vice versa. Because you can't run a vacuum, watch TV, listen to the radio, run a blender, anything like that. I've been in places like this. So, but practical, schmactical, who cares? It's The Sims. The Sims don't care, right? So it considers it a separate room in The Sims. So that's perfect. And it looks great. So awesome. So yeah, I like this place a lot. It's nice and homey and everything. I would love this. This would be something that I would create myself and maybe play. And then we get to the last image, which I'm sorry, freaks me out. He just wants s'mores. I don't know if he just wants s'mores or what, but I was thinking Candyman. You know that movie where you say Candyman in the mirror 3 times and the creepy guy comes and kills you and stuff like that? Yeah, that's where my head went with this image. So I don't know what to say about that. You all form your own opinions, but GVDN12, oh man, I don't know. She made me laugh with this one. It was funny. And next up, we have a new participant. It is Stang Mix 2. And so this is her entry. And her tweet said, "Writer's Hideaway. When people are just too much to handle, take a vacation. Enjoy a game of horseshoes, paint, relax, and enjoy the fresh mountain air." So this one, welcome to Stang Mix 12. I'm so excited and happy to have a new participant. It's also the first participant that I have some stuff to say about from a photographic perspective. Goodness, I'm having trouble getting words out today. But before we get to that, let's talk to the design for a second. I love the house. Oh, look at how adorable the house is. The use of those posts going up for the roof overhang thing, that's brilliant. I don't know why I didn't think to do that in my mountain home chalet, but that's a really great idea. Love that idea. I don't know why I've never thought of that. What a great idea. I love this landscaping out front. Oh my God, the landscaping is fabulous. And the overall composition of the image is great. Everything is really well balanced. She's got this tree in the front, that gives it some weight on the left side. She's got a couple of trees on the right. The water leads you to the back, so you go see the mountain too. So you get the big, focal point in the front with the landscaping in the house, but then that backdrop is just fabulous for it. So just overall, really love the image. But one thing that I'm going to say about it, and this is a lesson for everyone, because I've seen it a few times from different people, and that's over-processing. And I will tell you, as a photographer, every single one of us makes the mistake of over-processing. Every one of us does it. Every photographer, and the best ones will learn eventually not to do it. Because the thing is, when I say over-processing, I'm talking about either adding too much contrast, adding too much sharpness, adding too much brightness. However much you want to add, scale it back like at least 30% from where you're going with it. Because especially when you first learn how to do things, like when you first learn some sort of technique or something like that, whatever you're learning, you're going to think it looks good in processing, but if you look at it 4 days later, you're going to be like, no, it's too much. So scale it back. Like when you're doing processing, definitely don't go as far as you think that you want to go in that moment. Always scale it back to less than you think. And that's a lesson that pretty much all photographers have to learn when it comes to photo processing. And I've still made the mistake. And when I go back and I look at my old images, I'm like, oh my God, look at that. It's so over processed. And the reason that I bring it up in this image is this image is a bit over sharp. And I've seen other ones that are way over bright and stuff like that. So yeah, just watch for over processing and don't over sharpen, don't over brighten, don't over darken, don't over whatever you're doing to it. If you're changing any element of it, saturation, anything, if you're changing any element in it, scale back to less than you think. So that's the big takeaway there. Okay, next image. Back onto the actual design part of it. Yeah, looking at this, I mean, look at this. She did such a, she or he, I'm not sure. They can correct me. I'll go with she just because I seem to end up with a lot of girls. And if I'm wrong, just yell at me later. But in any case, this is so adorable. Look at all this landscaping. I love this. I get so envious of people that are really good at landscaping. I think it looks great. And this next image, oh my God, I love this so much. I love this so much. Now, the only thing is, again, we have another good photographic lesson here, right? Pick a topic and commit, or a subject and commit, whichever you want to put it. In this one here, it's like, my big question mark is your focal point the fire pit area on the left side, or is it the horseshoe area on the right side? Your strength is the left side with the fire pit, and going up that, the path is fabulous. The lines in the path, that winding thing going up to the house, the way the house is lit, and the lighting on the fire pit itself is fabulous. We don't even need to see the horseshoes and that stuff on the right. It's in the dark. It's not even relevant. So just panning the camera over to the left in this situation would have made this this would probably have won the day, because the lighting and everything, the path, everything else is so good that it probably would have won the day just if it was panned over just a bit more, so that that the fire pit could be the focal area. So, okay, so that is the comment on that. And this last one, this is such a great idea. Perspective shots like this are absolutely wonderful, where you're looking and you're the artist and you can see the view and everything. Now, I don't know how well it does for selling out to a retreat, but I love it from a perspective shot. It does have a few elements. She's got the bench on the right. She has, I think that's one of the lighting fixtures on the left. So she's showing outdoor retreat elements as well, but yeah, I just love the image. Regardless of how much outdoor retreat, I'm looking at two different things, how much outdoor retreat people are showing and the images themselves. So I'm trying to keep the outdoor retreat piece in mind, because I don't know, like I say, I'm heavy in a mood for photography stuff today. So you guys are going to get a lot of photography feedback today. But so anyway, that is Stag Mix 2. So thank you so much for joining us, Stag Mix 2. So next up, we have Ancha Cinnamon Sims, and I know I just screwed that up. It's AKA Diana, and I'm going to go with Diana just because that's way easier for me. I know I always say her name wrong. Anyway, her tweet says, Green Retreat is a lovely little holiday home in Granite Falls. And so this is so adorable, isn't it? Oh my God, I love this little thing. It's like this cute little cottage. I think this does a very good job of selling the pack too. She's including several elements here. The fire pit area on the right, the grill thing, the picnic table, the horseshoes. So she's got several different elements that she's showing here. And I went specifically to look to see if that stone was part of this pack. Kind of wish it was, because man, that's great stone. It looks wonderful. And just the house in general. So it's all exterior pictures here, or at least the first 3 are exterior pictures. She does have a little pool from Seasons, but I'm not gonna, whatever. And the third picture I really like. It shows this sort of sunken basement kind of area, which is a very interesting design to me. And then the fourth image is an interior, and it's a nice muted version. She chose some of the more muted colors for this interior. So yeah, and I don't have anything to say on her photography. I think she did a great job using outdoor retreat elements overall. And yeah, so that's Diana's cute little adorable cottage that is just to die for, adorable, that I want to go visit. Next up, we have Mena Buchner. And she says, my entry into the KG Outdoor Retreat made me want to buy challenge. Whether you like camping or glamping, the KG Outdoor Retreat campsite has to be on your list of places to visit this year. Relax by the campfire, swim, fish, or walk the nature trails. And oh my God, look at this thing. Like, this is a full-blown huge build, and obviously it's like, I don't know, it's like tree houses and built around trees. And how cool is this? And she took it in the rain, which is kind of interesting. Although I will say, I photographically, like, this build is great, but photographically this is a very, very difficult thing to photograph and make this look good. Like, to make this be like a sales and marketing type of thing. I can tell that the build is phenomenal even without downloading it. I can tell that the build is great. So she did a great job of conveying that. And I think doing it in the rain was a very nice touch. But this is a very difficult build, absolutely, to photograph. I can tell just from seeing this that it's very hard to photograph. There's a lot of lines. There's a lot of things going on. But she takes us down into one of the decks. And so this is very nice, right? We get a feel for what the decks look like. I love this idea that she hung the pots on the table on the left. That's a really great little idea she's got there, I think. And then, of course, it's a very good use of the outdoor retreat elements. She has several of them. She's got the sink and the trash can on the right, and the container with the stuff, obviously the dining chair and tables, and the picnic basket thing. I mean, she's got a lot of outdoor retreat elements in this image, which is fabulous for meeting the goals of the challenge. So that is great. And then the next image, again, we get a piece of her deck here. This one, it gives us a feel for what we're looking at, but again, this is very hard. There's a lot of lines. It's photographically challenging, very difficult, and there's a lot of uneven lighting. Like, there's a lot of areas with really bright light and really dark light and everything. And so this is just a challenge photographically. I think it's an adorable build, but definitely a photographic challenge. When we get onto the last image, we can see we've got one lighting going here. So this is much easier on the eyes. It's much less chaotic from a lighting perspective, and we can sort of see everything that's happening. Great use of outdoor retreat items here. I think this one is probably the strongest one in use of outdoor retreat items, in my opinion. Everything is just kind of laid out nice and everything, and yeah, I like it a lot. Next up, we have Sim Design, or Sim4 Design, and she says, deep in the Black Hills of Granite Falls lies Mount Rushmore Lodge. With 4 presidents looking down, a vacation here will be something to remember. And my God, what a fabulous idea this is. All right, so we're looking at the vacation lodge, but look in the back, up at the top. So she created this kind of like Mount Rushmore thing with the presidents with the different hats, and what a fabulous idea. I love this idea. The idea is great. The build, the design, all of that stuff is fabulous. Now on to the photography. Okay, so this image, this is one of those that If you want to make something look big, go low with your camera. If you want to make something look small, go high with your camera. So if you have something like a Mount Rushmore, something that you might be trying to make look larger, you want to go lower with the camera and set that piece, that thing that you're trying to make look larger, you want it to be up higher if you can. Now, there are a lot of reasons why she maybe wasn't able to angle the camera down. We all know photography in The Sims is super difficult. So I'm just trying to give you guys different like pointers. So think of it this way: if you want like a superhero or I don't know, a gladiator or whatever, anything like that, oftentimes you'll notice that a photographer or a videographer or whatnot will go from a lower angle on them because it makes them look larger than life. It makes them look bigger. So that's why you want to take the camera down. Lower angle makes your subject look larger. So if we had taken this down and then the subject, the Mount Rushmore is in the back, from like they're up above, that makes for a more powerful looking group of presidents. So those are my words on the photograph, but the design on the build is fabulous, obviously. And then the next image, this is a great color scheme. I love this overall. And this is one where I think she's got a good use of all of the, or quite a few of the outdoor retreat items she's using here. The bed, everything, the nightstands, the lights, all of that stuff, all outdoor retreat. So yeah, good use of outdoor retreat. And I love the room. And then this next one, I love that she committed to the angles. This is so good. And I'm going into the photograph again. Like I said, I'm really in a mood on the photography today. So she's got a great line on both sides. She's got the line on the right with the fence, that diagonal line on the right with the fence, but it's in the dark. And that area is not as important, right? Like we don't want the eye to go there. The eye is always going to go where light goes. It's going to go where the lines go and where the light goes. And so the fence line on the left-hand side, that's that diagonal, that's leading us into the image. It takes us right into her build, right into the building. We get to look at it right there. The Mount Rushmore part that's in the top right, that part does kind of get a little bit lost here. The camera's lower down, but it's not as large and as prominent and as brightly lit. The brightest section of the image is the entrance. I think that's an entrance, the midsection of her build. And so that's where my eye's going. And that's where pretty much anyone's eye is going to go. And so what's going to happen when you first look at this image, your eye is going to hit that fence part in the front and the deck patio in the front, and then it's going to head to that left, down the line on the left, and it's going to go to that bright, I don't know if there are doors there or what, and then off to the mountains in the back. So it's possible that your Mount Rushmore gets lost in this visually. But look at this build, look at the design, the idea, the concept. Oh my God, love the idea and the concept and the design, all of that stuff. Yeah, really great. Okay, so I'll shut up on the photography part of it. Like I said, wicked in a mood today. Hope you guys are good with it. Look at this last thing. Holy crap. What a fabulous idea. Her ideas for this challenge, like the whole Mount Rushmore thing, and now this idea of having this rock wall and the water coming inside. Oh my God. What I'm like mind blown, like so awesome. So yeah, I'm just really impressed. So that is Sim4 Designs entry and also where we are going to break for today. You may have noticed it said part 1 in the title. I know I've never split this up into 2 parts, but I go into so much on photography that it's almost kind of like a photography class here. So I sort of over talk, and I apologize for that, but I didn't want to kill y'all in one video. Figured I'd split into 2, so we're going to pick up where we left off tomorrow, and I'll announce the winners in tomorrow's video. So hopefully you like this. Make sure you hit the like button below if you do. Please do comment, share, subscribe. That stuff helps us YouTubers out a whole ton, and I appreciate it a bunch when you do. Thanks so much for spending the time with me today, and I hope to see y'all back again next time. Bye now.